I spent years wanting to get my dental implants and just kept avoiding it due to many different things, one of those being cost.
When I started hearing the information about the finances, I did get a little scared. We're not rich.
My parents, they got dentures because that was the only option that they could afford at the time. I'm Ricky, and I've had my dental implants for 980 days. And this is Sharana, who's had her implants for 4 years. So we're going to talk about the 2 ways we afforded dental implants. Hey, Sharana, how are you today?
I'm good, Ricky. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic.
Wonderful.
So before getting your dental implants, what struggles were you faced with?
Oh, good question. I'm glad you asked, Ricky. I was actually dealing with a lot. My teeth were actually starting to break on one side where I was only able to eat on my left side. So that was a little bit challenging for me. And then I was going through the point of having a lot of toothaches. So I was pretty much living off of ibuprofen. I think I was popping them like candy, just trying to get through the night of a toothache. But eventually when it started going to my front teeth and I noticed my front teeth started to chip, that's really where it kind of started taking me to a different direction of depression, all because of my teeth. Wow. How about you?
You know what? I'm sure that there are tons of people out there watching this that can totally relate to your experience.
Absolutely.
Because I know that I can. You know, I spent years wanting to get my dental implants and just kept avoiding it due to many different things, one of those being cost. Another one just being, anxiety and fear. I actually had a toothache one time where I had a pair of pliers and a screwdriver in my mouth because it hurt so bad.
Wow.
And I had a fear of the dentist.
Yeah, same here.
So I'm sure that there are tons, like I said, people can relate to your story. So in all the struggles you faced, were dental implants the first thing you thought of as a solution?
Not at all, Rick. I had no clue what dental implants were. I knew about dentures. Of course, my parents weren't dentures, but no clue about dental implants or what it actually was. But researching one night, and I just kind of scrolled through Nuvia, and that's how I stumbled up on Nuvia and dental implants.
Same here. My parents had dentures.
Yep.
My parents lived in tents and worked the fields and stuff. Yep. We by no means had money. My parents, they got dentures because that was the only option that they could afford at the time.
Absolutely.
And they fit so bad that they never wore them after they got them. And so whenever I was going through all this and I was looking for a solution, that was not the direction I wanted to go in. So I was very, very happy that in my search for a solution, an affordable solution.
Absolutely.
That I found Nuvia.
And then when I heard the major thing about Nuvia as far as being permanent, I knew I wasn't going in the direction of dentures. So that's another thing that kind of led me to Nuvia.
And we've all heard those stories where people have dentures and they have them in their pocket more than they have them in their mouth and stuff, And even though it seems like an affordable solution,
absolutely,
it's not a permanent solution.
You're right on that.
So in your search for a solution, you called Nuvia and you set up a free consultation.
Absolutely.
What was that consultation like?
Oh, my consultation, I can actually say it was amazing. I still remember it like it was yesterday. I'm a procrastinator, so let me start there. So I knew I had to immediately get that appointment scheduled so I won't change my mind. But as soon as I walked into Nuvia, they greeted me with my name. Hi, Miss Gray. I was like, they know me. Nobody was judging me about my teeth. They were ready to, make sure, do you need anything? Can I do anything for you? It just gave me a feeling of peace when I walked in, as if I just knew Nuvia was where I was supposed to be that day. So when I went in and they took me back for my consultation, they pretty much just explained everything to me as far as the teeth. And then when they got to the scary part, the financing part of it.
The price.
Absolutely. Once I found out that I was a candidate, which blew my mind, I think everything went blurred after that. But when I started hearing the information about the finances, I did get a little scared.
Was your heart palpating?
Oh,
and stuff?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Like we stated, we're not rich. But I just knew I had a sense of peace that this was for me. And when the person came out doing the consultation was sharing with me all the options that were available for me. They had payment options available for me.
So affordable financing options.
There you go. Absolutely.
I actually went to 7 different places. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I kept kicking that can down the road, trust me.
I get it.
Yeah, 7 different places. One place I went to twice, and
Okay.
some were more than Nuvia, and some were a little less.
Right.
But the thing that I found with the places that were less, they wanted me to be awake. They wanted me to wait.
Wow.
Yeah, who wants to be awake when somebody's got
Exactly.
their knee in your chest and they're removing your teeth? Because that's not an everyday occurrence, at least not in my world.
Right.
They actually wanted me to wear like a denture cut out with an X-Acto knife. You know how they cut that pink part out?
Right.
Yeah, for like 10 months.
Oh, wow.
Who wants that?
Exactly.
I know I didn't. I didn't want a denture in the first place. So why would I want to take one, drill some holes through it, and put it in my mouth and wear for 10 months? That didn't even fit my mouth. So, yeah, it wasn't the solution that I was looking for. And Nuvia popped up on my phone, just like on yours. But I feel like if somebody would have given me what Nuvia gave me, I would have probably went with them back in 2018 and stuff, and we wouldn't be here having this conversation.
I get it.
So every day I'm thankful.
Absolutely. So what was your Nuvia consultation experience like for you?
So I was in a competitor's office for the second time, and I had the contract in front of me because I had to do something. I just came from a banquet a couple of weeks before that, and banquet steak isn't always the steak that you need to be eating when you have bad teeth.
Right.
I couldn't chew it, and I thought I was going to choke. And all that went through my mind was, I'm going to be laying on the ground, choking in front of 300 and something people. And I'm not going to lie to you, that's not a vision I want to see of myself. So
neither do I.
I was sitting in their waiting room, and it was panel board, pale, kind of depressing. I might have been the youngest person in there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I ain't that young. And I'm on my phone like everybody is these days. You always see people on their phone scrolling with their thumbs. Some people got muscular thumbs from it. Nuvia kept popping up like they had some kind of geofencing or something. And I was like, well, what's this about? As I'm fixing to go in here and sign a contract to stay awake while somebody's taking my teeth out. So I walk in there, and first question I asked, how are you different from these guys?
Right.
And they didn't have an answer. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to think about this a little bit longer. And I'd already kicked the can down the road for a while. And I called Nuvia, since I had the phone in my hand,
While you were there.
while I was there. And I said, when can I get in to see y'all? If you can be here in 25 minutes, because
Wow.
Keller, Texas, if you can be here in 25 minutes, pouring down rain outside, we'll get you in. And of course, they take an upfront payment to make sure that you get in, because they don't want you to take somebody else's spot that might really need this, which they refund you the second you walk in the door.
Yeah.
I said, I can be there in 20. So I get there and I walk in, and I thought I was at Cheers. They knew my name, just like your experience. They knew my name. Everybody was super friendly, inviting, and they did things there. When you walk in, it was bright, like clean, friendly, warm. They had this really cool little x-ray machine that went,
Yep. How cool was that?
yeah, that was pretty
Go
cool.
around your head.
And it showed all kinds of stuff. And it showed me how bad my teeth really were.
Yeah.
And it showed me that maybe pulling them with a screwdriver and a pair of pliers wasn't the best idea.
No.
Even though it was cheap. And the greatest thing about my experience was Nuvia measured everything.
Yep. How cool
Did the
is that?
scans, the whole bit. And it was designed to fit my face. So whenever I met with the financial guy, we discussed it, and he actually said this to me. Because it's an emotional, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
Were you emotional?
I definitely was.
Oh, yes. He said this to me. He said, Ricky, you still have some pretty good teeth in your mouth. You might be able to save them by going to your dental professional. And I sat there and I thought to myself, because I'd already done that. It wasn't like over 4 years of trying to find a solution that didn't come up. Mm-hmm. And of course, it cost way more than what our dental implant experience was, and I was told it would last about 5 years.
Okay.
That's a bad return on investment for me. Okay?
I get it.
A bad return on investment. Because then I'm going to still end up either in dentures with bone loss, and it may be too late to actually get dental implants. So it made me realize he was looking out for my best interests.
Absolutely.
Not to get another sale or whatever. He was looking out for what he felt was the best interest of me and my life that I had left to live. And that was one of the things that I felt Nuvia had integrity.
I love that.
And besides price, there was another determining factor that I really, really loved. As I told you before, most places wanted me to wear something in my mouth for 10 months, a year, whatever, and then I still wasn't guaranteed. At Nuvia, they told you could have your permanent teeth in how long?
24 hours.
You're kidding me.
That did it for me.
Did it?
I absolutely, I needed a solution and I needed it fast.
And even though you went in there, and like you said, one of the big determining things is we're all afraid of the price because it's not really talked about a lot. Did that add value to the price?
Absolutely, definitely did. I'm investing in myself and I'm getting it done in 24 hours. You can't beat that.
Yeah. So that's, and I was telling you before, most of the places I went, they're either more or they're a little bit less. Me getting to be asleep and not remembering any of it, and 24 hours later, I can go on and live my life, and I'd already been hiding my smile
Right.
like this, or other ways, that I could go live my life and nobody realized that I had anything done.
And no more toothaches.
So,
Oh my God.
and you're able to eat and smile because you catch yourself, people pull out that phone and they're like this, and then you're like,
Oh yeah.
oh,
I'm loving a good
close.
selfie now.
Yes. So, and for you, the 24-hour period was just added value.
Mind blowing. And it really happened.
And
We're living proof of it.
and that 24-hour period, it didn't add anything to what they'd already told you the cost was.
I mean, when I heard that, the cost, and then 24 hours, and then I actually seen it, went home that night, did everything the doctors told me, whether it be sleeping upright, taking my meds on time. I honestly didn't have any pain. I just had a little discomfort where I can actually feel that something was going on in my mouth. But got home, ate some soup, found me some Jell-O, and all I was thinking about was going to sleep because I had to get through the next day so I could see these teeth in 24 hours.
So this was after the surgery.
After the surgery.
So I really like it that Nuvia is a one-stop shop.
One-stop shop.
Where
Yes.
you get all the information you need, all the education you need to make an informed decision right there, and they can give you teeth in 24 hours, and they offer great financing options if that's the way you decide to go.
How cool is that?
That's pretty sweet.
Absolutely.
They also have other ways of payment. Of course, everybody takes credit cards. Everybody takes a check, or you can pay in cash. So not everybody finances.
Right.
Correct.
That's
So
true.
that leaves a good. It opens the door for many people to have a choice, and that's really what we all want. While we're looking for this, we want to feel like it's our decision and our choice, whether it's from the financing options on how to afford it, whether it's from I get my teeth in 24 hours, So I think that, all of it put together adds tons of value to what Nuvia offers. So Sharana, how did you pay for it?
Me in my home, definitely, like you said, not rich, but I was the only one currently working at the time. But I knew I had to make some changes because this was going to happen.
Right.
So I actually kind of looked over my finances, whether it be cutting back on hairdos. I can do my own hair. I can do my own nails, little things like even no more McDonald's in the morning before work, things such as that. But I knew I was going to make a way so I can make those monthly payments. And one thing that was really helpful for me is because Nuvia offered payment options, that was definitely a great fit for me that allowed me to adjust some financial things in my life so that I could afford it. So it was able to put me into a good range that was a good fit for me. So I was paying around the 400 something range, every month as a monthly payment. And that to me did it. I was sold and I knew this was for me.
Did you have one arch done or both arches?
Oh, good question. I did. I actually only had my upper arches.
And then they offered you ways to finance it. Dang, that's sweet. Because it's different for everybody. It was different for me. I had both arches done. It's different for each person, depending on their bone loss, things that they may need done. Is there some way that the people watching this today can find out what range their costs may be in?
Absolutely. I'm glad you asked, Ricky, because Nuvia has a cost guide. I've never seen that at a dentist before, but they have a cost guide where you can actually go in and see what's best for you or what options they have for you.
Where can this cost guide be located?
Ricky, they can actually find it in the description below.
So they've made it pretty easy for you. You just click the description below. It pulls up the cost guide. You get a free consultation. They do it all designed around what you need.
Absolutely.
Give you a price, give you financing options, and change your life.
Yes.
It changed my life.
Same here.
Awesome. So, Sharana, we both lived with dental issues. We both paid a lot of money fighting those dental issues.
Absolutely.
Now that you went to Nuvia, here you are at 4 years. What does it actually cost you post-surgery?
What has it actually saved me?
Saved you, yeah. That's an
Absolutely.
even better way. So besides what your payment is to upkeep these, to you don't get cavities anymore.
Right.
Correct?
Right.
You aren't in pain.
Absolutely.
You can actually eat better because there's
Yes.
way more to it than just the teeth. Correct?
Absolutely. It definitely is. For me, not only you saying no more toothache, I didn't even know, Ricky, it was actually hitting me in a place of depression. So now that I've actually fixed my teeth, was able to get my smile back, now I just feel like I'm a brand new me. It's just something about getting your teeth fixed makes you feel younger. You have a new look on life.
Right.
So that just did it for me. And I'm excited. I'm still living in this new journey of this experience of having a new smile or getting my smile back.
I can tell you this about you. A few years back, we did one of the first podcasts.
Absolutely.
Okay, you came out to the farm. We sat there in front of a roaring fire because it was cold then too. And it hadn't been 4 years yet. Here you are at the 4-year mark. Here's the thing that I've noticed with your smile.
What's that, Ricky?
I can see the pureness of your heart through that smile.
Oh, thank you.
Because it's more than just about how pretty your teeth are.
Right.
It's about how pretty it makes the rest of you, from your thoughts to how you feel about yourself to how others around you, because I mean, you know how it is. When you're not happy, ain't nobody around you gonna be happy.
That's so true. That's so true.
And with like we're talking about today with the cost and everything, when you're able to make those payments and you're able to change your life, you can't help but everything around you also change. So they made it easy.
What changed for you?
What changed for me? I like that I don't have to wonder if I'm smiling too big.
Right.
That was a big thing. I like that I don't have to wonder if my breath smells when I'm talking to somebody.
Right.
I'm like, I love that whenever I'm eating something, I don't have to worry about, oh, is that a tooth or a pecan? I mean, honestly, because I've been there.
Absolutely.
As many people probably watching this has.
So true.
The biggest thing I love is
Oh, come on. Don't make me cry.
for 3 years, I was sick almost every day. I'd get up just sick as a dog. Mm-hmm. And they thought my cancer came back. Mm-hmm. They thought it was either stomach or whatever. Couldn't figure out what it was. And one day the doctor said, and this is from 18 till 22. Mm-hmm. Well, the doctor said, you think it could be your teeth? Wow. Never thought about it. Never crossed my mind. My teeth are here. My teeth aren't here.
Exactly.
My teeth aren't anywhere else. They're here. I didn't realize how much teeth can affect so many things in your body, from your heart, from heart disease to everything. Right. So the payment options, whether you write a check, whether you pay credit card, having teeth in 24 hours, from the second they took the teeth that I had left, that I hadn't ground down, out, the next day when I woke up, before I even got these babies, I could tell my body was healing.
Wow.
Like that. And I would have never thought that. That was the biggest thing that changed for me was my health. And I feel amazing every day just because of something that goes right here.
Yep.
You know? And like I said, I can't put a price on my health. I want to be here.
Awesome.
I want to be here to see the sunrise.
Absolutely.
I want to be here to see other people smile. A lot of people ask why we do these things. I can tell you, I do it because I want to give the information to the people that were in my position.
I agree.
Because there was nobody telling me this. It took a doctor saying, you think it could be your teeth. Everybody else said, here's how much it costs, which already freaks you out. You already think it's going to be painful. How you want to pay. That's not what I want to hear.
Right.
I want to hear, you're going to be better. Your life is going to change, and it's going to be okay.
That's good.
So that's what it did for me.
That was awesome, Ricky. Thank you for sharing.
But let's get back. You've had yours longer than me, correct?
Okay.
Okay.
Yep, 4 years.
So mine's 980 days today, baby. So I don't even know how many days is in 4 years, but it's a lot longer than 980 days. Sitting across from you and you laughing, which I love, I would never even guess that you weren't born with those teeth.
Oh, thank you.
They look amazing.
Thank you. Right back at you, friend.
But, you know, in that 4-year time period with you, since you've been living with it for 4 years, have you had any issues? Has anything went wrong? Has Nuvia said, too bad, you know, that's on you?
Not at all.
Not at all.
I go in and get my yearly checkups. I'm living my best life. I'm enjoying this new me, but no regrets. I'm still living with this is a brand new me, but no, yearly checkups with a dentist. Mm-hmm. I'm excited about going to the dentist now, but I love it. How about you?
You know, same experience. And anytime I've ever had a question or a concern, I just picked up the phone. Nuvia didn't forget about me as a person after they got paid. That says a lot about a company.
That's so true.
So, and that goes a lot into the whole cost of this thing.
Not just the dentist, it's more like family.
It's more like family. So, and that's one thing that I like. They don't forget about you. If you had issues, they take care of them. And they're always there. Well, Sharon, I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to spend with me and us talk about this. That may help some of the people out there. Friends, now that you sat through this video and you watched us real patients on a real podcast talk about real dental implant solutions, you know that it's possible. You know that you don't have to keep kicking the can down the road. You know that there are ways to afford it.
And again, the cost guide is located at the bottom of this description.
Awesome. It was great seeing you.
You too,
As
Ricky.
always, sweetie. Until next time, keep
Smiling.